Welcome everybody to the Detectorists on the Detectorists. We're here today. I'm here again with my co-host Karl. Karl, how you doing? Are you so ready to review episode 2 of season 1?
I am. I'm ready and ready and roaring. Yes,
Raring to go. You're ready
I
for
am.
anything, aren't you, Karl? I know
Yeah,
you.
I am.
And we're not alone today. Today we are joined by our third lovely guest on rotation. We have got Emma on the line. Emloveoldstuff. How you doing, Emma?
Hey, yeah, all good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a
Excited to
pleasure.
get chatting.
Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on and have you on again since it seems so long now ago that we spoke on the main episode. That was like at least a month ago, right? That's a long time.
It was.
Um,
I've been out in the field since, and I've had people saying, "Oh, I listen to your podcast." So
oh, have
people
you?
have been listening. Yeah.
Ah, good. Yeah, the listener numbers are going up in 20 countries now. So we're all over the world. Denmark's the latest country to join us. And
International.
it's fascinating. Yeah, because I see people like joining up to the Instagram and then I can see all the wonderful stuff they're finding in their countries. And it's really interesting, I have to say. And we're all sporting. So we always go through what we're wearing on every episode. So I've got my merch, my podcast hoodie today, which is nice and warm. So it's a wee bit chilly. And Emma, I can see you've got your XP t-shirt on.
Yeah. This week I'm repping XP metal detectors. That's who I that's my detector. So I thought, start off strong, repping my brand or
Yes.
repping my machine. So yeah.
Brilliant. Did you we've got
Can I just say
Karl's.
something really quickly? I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure right at the beginning you said we're going to chat about episode 2.
Did I?
I'm sure you said series 1, episode 2,
Oh, I
because I
might
was
have
like,
done.
this is episode 3.
This is episode 3. If I did, I'll just edit that out. I'll change what I said in post. Don't
Leave it in.
worry.
It's all. It is what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Exactly.
We are real.
Yeah, real detectorists.
Yeah.
Reviewing the detectorists. So, Emma, what's your history then with the detectorists? Did you watch it all first time round, or is this new to you now?
It's not new to me. I did watch it when it first came around, and that was the one and only time I did watch it. So, kind of watched it all come out and sort of then let it be, and it's had its time. And now I'm actually enjoying re-watching it because now I'm seeing parts that I didn't see beforehand and picking up on little things. As there's a few things that I'm going to bring up today, which have been like, oh, like little moments in it. But also with it being so long ago, it's still, some of it is still fresh. Like I can't remember what has happened, so that's quite nice as well.
Yeah, I'm finding the same thing. This is what I was saying last couple of episodes. I've got a memory like a sieve anyway, so I can't really remember the storyline. But yeah, just watching it now that I am a detectorist, it's so much fun. Really enjoying it. And then Karl, this is like your favourite go-to show, isn't it? You
Yeah.
like
I
to
think I'm
watch.
watching it this time. I think I'm probably on my 5th or 6th round. Yeah,
Wow.
it's one of them. Like if I've got nothing to watch, it because I know I'll always.
We keep losing Carl's
For some
stream.
reason, it keeps connecting to my GoPro, and I've not even got it here. It's very strange.
Ooh.
But yeah, if my camera goes, everything else is still working.
Yeah, it's all
Cool.
fine. It's all fine. So this episode, then, episode 3 of season 1, is titled "Buried," and it was first aired on the 16th of October 2014 on BBC 4. So I still can't get over the
That
fact.
long ago. I
I
didn't, you know what? I
know.
was like, oh, it's only a few years. And 2014.
10 years.
Wow.
Time flies. So this episode starts off, and of course, it always starts with Lance and Andy detecting. And I was quite intrigued actually, and pleased to see that the weather wasn't so grand at the beginning of this episode. It looked a bit colder, and it was in fact raining, and they had their coats on. And it's grey skies, and then Andy gets his signal of the day. And I couldn't stop laughing when he dug up what it was.
It's so good.
Oh my
So good.
goodness.
The
Dark,
embarrassment as he throws it away as well without saying anything.
dark humour, yeah. So, of course, he digs up something and he's wiping the dirt away, and I'm thinking, oh, what's that going to be then? And then yes, it's a Jim will fixed it for me badge.
Yeah. And we all know that what that has, the connotations that has, and we're just like, oh yeah, it's rubbish.
It's the worst kind of rubbish. Unclean. So he does the only thing he can do and the right thing. He lobs it in the nearest bush, doesn't he?
Yep.
And then Lance asks him what he's got. He's like, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oh dear. And then we pop off. We get the lovely titles. So we hear our wonderful soundtrack again by Johnny Flynn, who we will see later on in the episode, won't we?
Yes, beautiful man.
That is what I've written that in big writing. Easter egg.
Easter egg. We love Easter eggs, and there's way more than I thought in this show. Actually, now we're going through it
there
again.
are.
It's fantastic, the level of detail. And then we switch, and it seems a bit sunnier now. And I notice Lance has got his shades on, and he's pouring a cup of coffee. And Andy's getting a bit frustrated about their lack of progress on the permission, isn't he?
I think that's like one of the main things he says, like, oh, I don't know if we're even in the right field. And that is when you have so much land, or like when you're going on rallies, or if you've got permission that has loads of land, I think we all have that thought. Is it even in this field? Like, you just know you could be in a field that's had no activity, and the field next to it, that was the path to the medieval village or something. So we've all had that thought at some point. I'm sure of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so strange how like two adjoining fields can be completely different.
Yeah, you've just got no clue, have you? Because even the oldest maps that we can refer to, I think it goes back to 1860 or something, the one I can look at around my area and footpaths. And then, of course, there's so much before then, isn't there? You just have no idea until you discover it for yourself what's there. Yeah. So he's having a bit of chat, isn't he, with Lance? And Lance is telling him to keep it down. And then Andy's jumping up and down, sort of saying, well, the fields aren't bugged. And he starts screaming out about it, doesn't he? Oh, dear. And then, Andy gets a little signal, digs it very quickly. And it's a 20 pence piece. And we all get that kind of feeling, don't we? When we sort of find a coin, it's a modern coin, and then you're like, well, it's a spendable, isn't it?
Yep. That's it. Which leads beautifully into the next scene.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same. The spending it, and all the pile of mud just left on the pub bar, and the barman just being not amused at the amount of change that's being handed over.
Oh, it's brilliant! It's brilliant, isn't it? You get the feeling that pub landlord there with all those detectives around is probably quite used to it by now, isn't he? Receiving some coins and a load of dirt.
If it pays his bills.
Exactly. All goes the same way, doesn't it?
Yep, can't turn his nose up at it.
So yeah, we're in the pub, as Emma says, and there's Andy's getting a couple of pints in, isn't he? And I miss those glasses, the sort of tankard glass with the handles rather than.
Oh, do you not get them down your way?
Not down here.
See, we still have them up here.
Oh.
It always makes a pint taste better in a barrel glass.
Oh yeah.
We don't have them much down here, and especially in London, like there's standard pint glasses, so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
Standard pint glasses, and then you have to get a mortgage to get a pint.
Yeah.
£8 a pint the other day in the pub I was in. I was like, £8 to
in the city.
Yeah.
It's far more expensive than that, and it's like, wow.
Oh dear. So yeah, they sit down, and this is a funny bit. So Andy's a bit hungry, isn't he? So he's munching down on a packet of scratchings, pork scratchings. I mean, come on, really? Did he think those were vegetarian? Did the hairs not give it away? You get a hairy pork scratching. Ooh. Only when I'm desperate will I have some pork scratchings myself.
Oh, they're a delicacy.
No.
Yeah, they are up here.
my mum loves them, but there's even just the smell is enough to make me like, ugh, no.
Yeah, yeah.
When you find one that's crunchy and then one that's soft at the same time, it's like a
Ooh.
double whammy of a winner.
No, I feel sick.
Yeah, same, Emma, same. So yeah, Lance explains to Andy that he's actually chowing down on some deep fried pig skin, to which Andy didn't know, which was quite funny. I did enjoy that moment. And then they're chatting, aren't they? They're talking about Thursday coming and the band night and Lance's big performance, and he still
I
can't
like the
perform
next bit.
like standing up, can he? So he's talking
Yeah,
about this can be his gimmick, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I love the little like Nick Drake reference as well, because he just brings it all back to like the whole folk music scene and the everything that kind of goes hand in hand with metal detecting.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
nice.
absolutely, absolutely. And then the antique researchers show up, don't they? Simon and Garfunkel, and they're shouting about, sticking their nose in Lance and Andy's business, saying they know that some items have been found up at Bishop's farm.
Yep.
I wonder how they could know about that, eh?
I wonder.
Did the field get bugged?
Did the field get bugged? Yeah. I was like, something dodgy going on here. So yeah, they're shouting about it and saying the responsible thing to do, and you've got 14 days to report it under the Treasure Act. And then Paul, we now know that one of them's called Paul, says, well, you've got 12 days now. And then, of course, Lance and Simon and Garfunkel start talking and shouting, and they say, he says, Lance always wants to get the last word. And
That's the bit I love. The pause as they're leaving, literally left the building. No.
Just as the door's shutting. Yeah, I love it. I love Lance's pettiness. He does it really well.
It's really clever. It's really clever.
And so then they think, what are we going to do? We need to act quickly. So they're talking about they need the full might of the DMDC, all 7 of them. So they need the help of the club, don't they, to try and protect what they've got going on down at Bishop's Farm. So
then they go to Terry's house.
Yes, exactly. And I love Sheila.
Batty Sheila dancing away to the weird music.
I love it. She's like all trippy in her own little world, doesn't she? And then she starts well, you see Terry first of all, and I was eyeing up on his desk where he was cleaning up his finds and stuff and his little treasure drawers and things, and I was like, oh yeah, very good. And we see him inspecting a hammered coin, isn't he? So that's nice to see. And then Sheila, with her eyes closed, looking up, she's going, I can see people coming. There's one short one and one big one. And Terry's going, what? And then the doorbell rings. And it was only at that moment when the doorbell rung that I realised she had her eyes closed, didn't she? So she wasn't looking anywhere to see they were coming.
I've got some strange sixth sense.
Yeah.
I was trying to work that out as well as I'm watching it. I'm like, because I've watched the episode yesterday and today, so I was rewatching that bit. Like, is there a mirror in the room? Is she facing a window? Is there some sort of reflection? And it's like, it genuinely seems that she is some sort of psychic.
Yes, exactly.
Nothing's ever explained about it either, is it? It's just kind of, it's just thrown in there. We're expected to understand it.
Yeah, exactly. Psychic Sheila, we love her. So the doorbell goes, and she's right enough. There is a big one and a short one, and of course it's Lance and Andy, and they've come round to Terry to sort of fess up a little bit in terms of what they've got going down at Bishop's Farm, and to get his assistance and help, don't they? So first of all, they're asking Terry what he's up to, and I love this as well, this part. The writing's fantastic. And Terry explains he's doing a bit of reordering. We all do it with our finds cabinets. But he's decided to order by denomination instead of date order. But obviously, ordered
Obviously.
chronologically, obviously, in domination, and they all chuckle. They're like, obviously. I was thinking, you know what? That's a chat we would have, right? We would do the same thing. We'd be
Yeah.
like, of course, chronologically as
Yep.
well.
It's like, and Andy gives a smile as well that's kind of like, it doesn't seem like it's a scripted smile. It's like one of them, like it's an accidental one.
Yeah.
It's like such an honest smile.
Yeah.
Like a little
It's
cheeky,
brilliant.
yeah.
A knowing chuckle. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. So yeah, what do you reckon when, because it was a bit shifty in the last episode, we thought that Lance might have been being a bit shifty when you know, he saw the bits and pieces that Bishop was showing them and he was like, oh, you know, it's probably brass and all the rest of it. And then you
Yeah.
sort of left the end of that episode and Lance kind of covered his back, hadn't he, saying, it's not us, I don't need to report nothing, we'll just report it if we do find it. So then he's kind of, in my mind, it's kind of making it all right again, isn't he? Because he's telling, you know, the president of the club what's going on and sort of engages him for his help. So I felt a bit more confident in Lance and his tactics here. So he's like,
I still disapproved of it a little bit, just because he wasn't telling the landowner what he actually had. But
yes, that's true. Yeah. Mm. And Terry's not going to pipe up too much because now Terry is really excited, isn't he? Because he can
wants
go
to
back
get down there.
He wants to
Yeah.
get down there, but not necessarily for the gold. He's on his side mission, isn't he? He wants to prove about this wife and what happened to
His
the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's dead excited. So yeah, they it's really funny. They agree that they'll get down there, and it was really funny when they're like, "There's no time to lose," and he's like, "But
Must
not
get
tomorrow."
down there as soon as possible.
And then they literally all go through their calendars in their brains, aren't they? And they're like, not tomorrow, I've got an essay. And then we can't because we're practicing for the gig. And then it's the gig. And then they're like, okay, yeah, in like 4 or 5 days' time, we can get down there as soon as possible. And then, yeah, Emma, do you want to lead in with what lovely Sheila brings in for the first time? We see people consuming.
Well, the funny part is as well, when they first arrive at Terry's house, they're offered some lovely lemonade, and everyone declines at that point. And Terry
Yes.
sort of flashes the look, doesn't he? Like, please, just.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Sheila says, it's fresh. So everyone sort of goes, yeah, okay, we'll have some lemonade. So then, this conversation happens, and eventually Sheila comes back with the lemonade, and everybody tries it. And the reactions are just how I would imagine my own reaction to having strong lemonade. That the eye goes and sour.
Your teeth curl.
I think there are a few people disapproving of how strong that lemonade is. Certainly fresh.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah, you can only imagine, and we've all done it before, haven't we? And I can feel my face going in on itself now just thinking about it. But yeah, the way Mackenzie Crook, when he's doing his acting of drinking the lemonade and his eyes shut, isn't it? And he has to like prise his own eye open.
Opens it back up.
Oh, it's so good, but they all know for Terry's sake as well. Got to say, lovely lemonade.
Delicious.
So yeah, Sheila's feelings are saved and she's dead pleased with herself, isn't she? Bless her. So then, yeah, we go off and we're in a new scene, and the boys are practicing in Lance's flat, aren't they? The song ready for.
We hear a preview of New
Mm.
Age Girl.
New Age Girl, exactly. And Andy's standing over Lance. Lance, of course, is sat cross-legged on his pillow because he can't possibly stand. And yeah, Andy's really trying to sort of harmonise with the guitar, isn't he, with Lance? And Lance is all discouraged and saying he doesn't think it's a good idea. And Andy's like, oh, I'm really looking forward to it. So is Becky.
Yep. Cut to the next scene. Please don't come, Becky.
It's so funny. I mean, how many times have we done stuff like that to protect our friends and family's feelings? And then he's literally there, his head in Becky's lap, isn't he? Going, please. No, he's like, I don't want you to come. And Becky's like, I'll try not to have my feelings hurt by that, but can you explain? To which he does, and it's I think he's in fear, isn't he?
This point, I feel like this is the point in this episode where it's like it's taken a completely different turn, hasn't it? It's like it's soon to get quite serious and slight
Mhm.
change of tone before it then
Yeah.
changes again at the end. So it's it then what brings the detectorists. We do have a personal life. We have lives outside detecting as well. So it's like got that little bit going on in that backstory almost as well.
Yeah, the seriousness of it. And I missed out actually. Just before that, you see Lance going into Maggie's crystal shop again because he's so painfully still in love with his ex-wife, isn't he? And he's taken that record back just as another excuse to see her and make sure she's going to the gig. And
Yeah.
her and her bloke are obviously up to something in the back.
Horizontal dancing in the back. She comes out readjusting her dress.
She does.
Just moving
Exactly.
boxes.
Yeah.
Just moving boxes, and then Tony pokes his head out and he's like, "Oh, you need to come and help me finish rearranging the boxes." It just all goes over Lance's head, doesn't it? Because he's just so like broken-hearted,
naive.
and it's just like, oh. And she even asks him to put the close sign over the door as he goes, and he happily
Cheeky.
trots off and puts the close sign on. So yeah, this is like it's all downhill from here, isn't it? And back to where Andy's taken Becky a bottle of wine, hasn't he, to try and ensure she stays at home and doesn't go anywhere, and certainly doesn't see the rendition of New Age Girl. So at that point she kind of agrees, doesn't she? She's like, all right then, as long as I get a private show of the song at some point. To which he says, yes, of course.
And he
then we
says,
go.
I'll do it naked. Yeah, she's like, no thanks, my eyes might burn.
I do like her character. She's brilliant, isn't she? Absolutely
Yeah.
fire. Oh gosh. And then we're off to the pub, aren't we? It's already the big night by the looks of things. So it's funny as they walk in, Lance is obviously inquiring if Bex is coming, but Lance has got his little cushion with him, hasn't he? And I was just like, oh bless him. He's even brought his proper cushion with him to be comfy.
Do we not get to see Becky with the pregnancy test before?
It's it's kind of mixed within, so it sort of flips back and forth between the pub and what she's doing at home. Yeah. But they're sort of settling down. You're right, Carl. Do you want to go through what's happening at home?
Yeah, so obviously he gives her the bottle of wine and she's sitting there and she pours a glass, but then she's just about to drink it and you just see her walk off into the kitchen in a bag and you see her pull out the pregnancy test and then it kind of like cuts back into the pub. So you think she's going to take it, but you don't actually know if she's going to or not.
Yeah, exactly. You're not quite sure what's going to happen. And then back at the pub, they notice that Simon and Garfunkel have come in. So Lance and Andy, you can imagine they'll be painfully embarrassed to do their song in front of those guys, right? This is so funny the way this is all set up. So they decide jointly, don't they? They're not going to do the song. Not going to do the song. No.
Not in front of the whole Antic researchers because they realise it's their meeting night, don't they? Just down the road. So they've come in afterwards to grab some drinks and see the music. And wow, no, not going to perform now.
all four of them.
Exactly. So Andy goes up to the bar and then Sophie suddenly appears, doesn't she? And it's quite funny because it flips back and he's obviously like throwing shade at the Antiquity Searcher guys, and they're all head to toe camouflage, aren't they? Which really made me laugh. Oh no. So she's chatting on Sophie and she's like, "Where are you sat?" And he's like, "I'll get you a drink." And he goes down with his two pints to where he thinks he's going to just see Lance and Sophie, right? But Lance has already confessed he had posted about it on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then when he goes down the steps, the whole club is there waiting.
That's actually the first time that you get a bit suspicious of Sophie as well, because she comes in and she says hello, but she says it past Lance and Andy. but they don't realise that she's saying it to the antique researchers at the other side of the bar. And then Andy says, "Oh, are you saying hello to him?" She said, "Oh, you obviously." That's when alarm bells start ringing that she actually isn't as innocent as she may appear to be.
Good
Spoiler
catch.
alert.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. We saw
Potentially
this
for people
coming.
who haven't seen this.
Potentially. Well, yeah, it's just raised suspicion in me. That's
It
all.
has raised suspicion. And also because
Yeah.
he was going, "Oh, you saw Lance's message on Facebook." And she was like, "Did I?" And he's like, "Yeah, about the..."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, yeah, I did." Same
Yeah.
thing. I was like, not sure. Not sure what's going on
Suspicious.
here.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, Andy goes down and then Lance confesses, yeah, definitely put it on Facebook because everyone's there to see them. So they've got no choice now. They've got to go through with it, haven't they? They've got to perform.
This is the next
They
part
have.
is when I also really relate to Sheila. Like, they there's the awkward conversation about the theme of the song and sort of it being batted off that it's about the ex-wife, and then it's like suddenly, oh, get the drinks in, and Sheila's like, I will have a pina colada. Now, pina colada is a drink I absolutely love, and I'm not a beer person and I'm not a wine person. So, but I know that pubs don't serve that sort of thing. So for him to go back to her and say, yeah, I don't think we're going to have that here, but what would your next choice be? Snowball. Perfect. I love snowballs as well. So it's like I'm feeling Sheila's vibes in this one.
It is
Snowball. It's
brilliant,
proper
isn't it?
Christmas drink, Snowball.
What's
Yeah.
in a snowball? Remind me.
It's avocado and lemonade, isn't it?
Yeah,
Is
and
it?
I always put a dash of lime in as well.
Oh,
Yeah, lime
wow.
juice. So I've literally just
Nice.
ordered some of my shoppings. We're going to a Christmas party next week, and I'm in charge of the snowballs.
Oh,
It's
lovely.
basically just like a fizzy eggnog.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy to drink then. Dangerous. Give you a
Yeah.
hangover because you drink too many.
Still not for
Awesome.
everybody though. So not everybody loves them.
Yeah, I tend to like anything with alcohol in me, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh dear. So yeah, Sheila puts her order in with Russell, who's getting the round in. So yeah, he's off to try and find her a snowball after all that.
Is that the same scene where Russell's just looks over at Hugh and just say, before Hugh
Yes.
even gets a chance, he just says cock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bless you. And then we flash back to Becky at home. So she's gone to do the pregnancy test at this point. That's the bit you're referring to, Carl. And it's funny because she sort of puts the glass of wine down and it's like, because she's obviously got suspicions in her mind. Then she grabs the test. Then she does have a big glug of wine because at this point she's not pregnant, right? So she's like, I'm going to have a last glug. And then you see her walk off to go and do the test, presumably, I'm supposing. And then we come back to the pub, and this is where the band night sort of kicks off, and you get introduced to Johnny Piper, and of course we know Johnny Piper. Who is Johnny Piper?
That's my stage name. Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Johnny Flynn. So yeah, he cracks on and starts singing the Detectorists song, doesn't he? And everyone's watching, and it's beautiful. When everyone's just like lost in the magic of his voice.
Imagine having to follow that at an open mic night. I wouldn't even bother. I'd just go home.
Just get on the stage apologising.
You've got to admire Andy and Lance for getting up and singing their song after Johnny Flynn's just done his.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a hard act to follow.
Yes.
But it's at this point when he's singing the Detectorist song that you cut back again to Becky, who's sitting down, sort of staring. She's got she's got the test, and she's looking at the test. So at this point, we don't know what's going on with the test. But then she's looking at the floor, and she sees something hanging out of Andy's coat pocket, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And it's
the
beer mat with the number on, and that sinking feeling. I've had that sinking feeling before. I'm sure a lot of people have, and she's just like, what is this? So So yeah, she's sort of staring off to the distance, and she's literally got the beer mat in one hand with the number on and the pregnancy test in the other, and she's just staring ahead. So we can only conclude one thing, really, can't we? But I'm sure we'll get that confirmed later on. Back to the pub, and it's the end of the Detectorists song, and of course there's lots of whooping and cheering, and everybody thinks, my gosh, that was fantastic. And so it's time for Lance and Andy now, and they're going on up, and they're introduced as Lance Stater and Andy Stone.
Which I think is really, really cool. Obviously, it's got the name of a coin.
Yes,
I like Andy Stone as well, because they're both the two things that are coming out of the ground. Whilst one of them's a precious metal, the other one's just a stone.
Yes, exactly. It's the first time we hear their full names as well, isn't it, in the show so far?
Yeah.
So it's very cool.
Whenever I hear somebody or see somebody's name on Facebook now, and it's like somebody's Stater, or if you go to a dig and somebody's called Simon Stater, you're like, that's not a real name. You're like, that's just their metal detecting name, but actually, it is a real name.
I do love all our handles. But you remember the old CB radios, and you have your handle when you talk on the CB radios. So we've all got that in our sort of metal detecting. So many people I chat to on Instagram, and it's like it's a random name, like beeper man or beeper girl. And I'm like, I don't actually know what your name is. Dear beeper girl. No, that's cool. So they go up, and again, Lance has got his lovely little cushion, and he does this so easily, doesn't he? Delicately. He puts his cushion on the stool, and then he manages to get on the stool and then balance himself cross-legged on the stool.
Oh, it's like he's just floating.
Yeah. He's just so limber. And there's that.
Like Aladdin on his magic carpet.
He's used to it. He's way more comfortable on that little cushion than he would have ever been standing up.
Yeah, exactly. And then they kick off, and it introduces the song, and they kick off and start singing, and it's a lovely moment, really, because you're not quite sure whether it's just going to be a car crash or not, but they do a really good job, don't they? And you see the crowd, and everyone's kind of nodding to each other and pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I think it ends up being a good song and a good performance. And you have afterwards, you have that little jingle in you, like "Tilt the World."
Yeah, exactly that. And it's very poignant, isn't it? And I think everybody knows it's about Maggie, and so everybody takes it on board, and he does a good job. So they get off stage, and this is dodgy.
Yeah.
So
goes downhill very quickly.
Oh, it does. There's lots of cheers. They get off stage. Lance offers Andy a whiskey immediately, as any good friend should do after such a situation. It is the right thing. And Andy sits down, and of course Sophie comes in and grabs his hand and does not let go, does she? When she's chatting to him, saying that was so good. And Andy doesn't pull his hand away, does he? He's just like,
no, he doesn't.
No. He just sort of leaves his hand there, and she's sort of saying it was so good, and then Sophie's being a bit funny, asking about Lance and whether he's got piles, and then he explains that he has to sit cross-legged, so otherwise he can't play. And then Sophie's like, "That's brilliant." I do like the way Sophie comes out with stuff, and then all of a sudden there's a shadow, isn't there? And Sophie sort of looks up and goes, "Hello."
Yeah.
And it's Becky. Becky's come to the pub just at that moment.
Yeah, it's such a moment where, because Sophie doesn't know who Becky is yet, so Sophie's all completely innocent and like, oh, who's this lady? Like, someone's come to say hi. Doesn't even know that it's Andy's girlfriend, so awkward.
Andy made it even more awkward trying to introduce them to each other. Every time he forgets who Becky is.
Every time he's so flustered, and he sort of does that whipping his hand away thing, and Becky's not simpleton, is she? She can see what's happening. She can see holding hands happening as well. So she's like, "Oh, hello," and Becky's like, "Hi," and then she said, "Yeah, I was." You can see Becky's just brilliant when she's in a mood. She's like, "Yeah, I was bored, and that wine was a bit shit." So she's
love
in the pub. And then what I love is it pans to the rest of the club that are sat there, and they're all watching
they're all
it.
just staring.
Like,
If there was popcorn, there would be someone eating the popcorn going, it's going to be good. So Andy obviously gets all his tongue tied and all the rest of it because he knows he's in trouble. He already knows he's in trouble, but he offers her a drink. This is Becky, and he runs up to the bar, but Becky goes, "Oh, just have an orange juice." So again, that's pointing us, isn't it?
Yeah. And even when like Andy's really surprised at that moment, he's like, "Oh, really?" Like, just like, "Oh, you're gonna have an orange. You're here, and you're gonna have an orange juice." Oh.
Oh, that's a bit weird. So yeah, anyway, he runs off because he wants to be a good boy at this point and get her juice as quickly as possible. And he goes up to the bar, says to Lance, "Oh, Becky's here," and then tries to order the drink. And then Becky's coming back out the way, isn't she? She's walking back past, and she's like, "Actually, I've had a change of heart." And off she goes. And you're thinking, "Oh, that wasn't that bad, was it? That was relatively painless."
And then comes
one.
That was civilized.
How civilized. And then comes one of those fantastic moments. And again, I proper guffawed out loud at this. So Andy sort of grabs what he's got drink wise and walks around the corner. And again, you get that shot of the club, and the club's just all open mouthed. They all look shocked and stunned, and you're thinking, "What's going on here?" And then it pans, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And what state might you say Sophie is in? How can we describe it?
Like what we'd look like if we'd been out metal detecting in the rain.
That is a good way of putting it. Sophie is absolutely drenched, and she's obviously worn a couple, one if not two, we later find out, 3 pints over her head.
Yeah.
And Becky's done a right number, hasn't she? Because she's realised this is Sophie.
You could just like you don't get to see it, but you can imagine her just like picking one of the glasses up from in front of someone, throwing that, then going to the next person, throwing that one, and the third one, and they're all just sat there watching her do
it. Stunned. It's the most activity the pub's probably ever seen.
Yeah, exactly. And Sophie's just kind of wringing out the front bit of her fringe and just goes, "She was nice." She's just so mild mannered, isn't she, Sophie? She's just accepted it and taking her punishment from Becky. So Andy realizes what happened and he just legs out the door, doesn't he? Tries to run after Becky and make it right, and she is not happy.
Yeah. Storms into a car.
It doesn't look good. Doesn't look good for Andy, does it? Because in Becky's world, she's been uninvited from the bash, and then she's found the beer mat with the number on, and then she's gone to the pub and seen them holding hands. And then here's that Sophie. So yeah, and she's obviously just had some kind of news herself. So yeah, and she just rips into him, telling him he's having a midlife crisis. Next, he'll be buying a motorbike and some leather trousers, which I thought was really funny.
I think the thing that got me there was the immediate cut to the next scene as well, where where Andy's obviously told Lance what's happened, and they're just immediately discussing. So, what would you get then?
That's great, isn't it? And it's a true mark of what friendship they have, and that's what we all do, isn't it? We'll tell our best mate, we'll be like, "And this happened, and this happened," and then you try and find some humour in it, don't you? I think he says Kawasaki or something else, but I couldn't catch the name of the other type of bike.
Something else, yeah.
So they're off. They're walking in a field, and they're meeting up with Terry, who claims, I love Terry. He claims he's a little bit late due to flamenco class.
We all know that's Sheila's idea.
Yeah, She likes to get him dancing, that's for sure. So as we said earlier, Terry's got an alternative motive, hasn't he? Yeah, he wants to help out with the gold and keeping the antiquity searchers away, but he's got one mission and one mission only.
Yeah.
He wants to find out.
That paddock.
Exactly. And then
I
he brings
like
out the
the
walkie-talkie.
yeah. I was just gonna just hop back to. I like the way he's so suspicious about this field. He's like, why does he not want us to go down there? Oh, that's obviously where she is. And it's like, we must start in that other field, like that. And then towards the end, we perhaps find out why.
Yeah, we perhaps find out why, but he is a man on a mission. So he hands over a radio walkie-talkie and explains to Lance and Andy that you have to say over when you're finished talking. That's the number one rule. So yeah, they go off. You see Terry marching off in the direction where he's been pointed to, this field where he shouldn't go, and he's decided, hasn't he, Terry, that he'll just plead ignorance should he get caught by Bishop. He'll be like, "Oh, sorry, I thought I was in the right field." Da 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 da.
Mhm.
And then naughty, shouldn't do that, naughty Terry. But yeah, he wants to find the wife. So you get the sort of scene. It's a lovely little scene, this, isn't it? And they're all sort of walking around, and I was just kind of getting the feels, going, "Oh, that looks like a lovely detecting day." And you see
Yeah.
Terry finding rappers and all that kind of stuff. And Lance is obviously telling Andy about the latest quiz show he's been frustrated with, hasn't he? And he's talking about how this guy couldn't even get the general knowledge question right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? What is the national flightless bird of? Is it New Zealand? And
Something
who
like
says
that.
the chap says a kangaroo?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, no. Lance does not like a silly quiz show answer, that's for sure. So yeah, and then you cut back to Terry, and he's digging a big hole, isn't he? And he's obviously searching for something at the bottom of the hole. It's one of those type of holes that when you see someone like that, you're thinking, I always look over and think, uh-oh, what you got there? You're sort of digging down to a pipe or something.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I always
they
think
call up
deep
Terry
iron.
and say they're going to deep iron.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is hilarious as well. Just the comedy timing, the writing of this. Mackenzie Crook deserves all the awards he got, but yeah, Lance calls on the radio, doesn't he? Because he's saying that they're thinking about calling it a day, and then you see Terry just standing there with a serious look on his face, not doing anything, and then you realise it's because Lance hasn't said over.
Yeah. And it
Yeah,
cuts
I love
back and
that.
it just says over.
And it's a really nice long pause, isn't it? It's good, like 15, 20 seconds. Fantastic. So he says that, they're thinking about calling it a day. And then Terry says, oh, he's got a target quite big and deep, probably a pipe or a gatepost or something. He's going to check it out anyway. So the boys are like, yeah, all right, we'll call you back in 10 minutes because we're thinking about going to this pub. Oh, yeah. And then you see, don't you? And I think the first time I watched this and this time, when Terry starts slamming his spade into the bottom of the hole, I suddenly thought, uh-oh. Oh, gosh. Anyway, you see the boys, Lance and Andy, and they're sort of detecting towards the camera. And then there's a big explosion in the background, isn't there?
Boom.
Boom.
You just see this massive cloud of mud.
Yes, exactly. And bearing in mind they didn't hear the flight pass when the red arrows or whatever went over them, so they must have felt
I don't think they had the headphones on at this point. So
I
I think because they were just
think
talking.
they did, yeah. You see Andy.
Oh, they put them back on?
Yeah, they got them back on. And Andy kind of takes his headphones off like that, and then he turns around and sees the smoke.
See the cloud,
and goes, "Oh shit!"
Perhaps this is why he said not to go down to that field, because they know that there's ordnance there.
Yeah.
Exactly. If only Bishop had said something. And that is the end of the episode. So yeah, a really exciting episode, and where it's quite quite joyful at the start, it really takes a turn, doesn't it? And there's a lot of unresolved bits and pieces going on. And what's happened to poor old Terry?
Cliffhanger, if there ever was one.
I know, right? And in the olden days, in 2014, you actually had to wait a week to find out. Luckily now, you can just press play on the next episode, which we will do next week. So Emma, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed sort of reviewing the episode. Nice to know you're such a big fan of Sheila and Pina Coladas. I will mental note that for any time we go out. Pina Colada. We must go to a place of Pina Coladas.
Although I still struggle to get snowballs at pubs as well. They don't often do those either.
Oh,
Not
really?
down the south anyway. So luckily I've learned to like cider, so more simple and easier to get than a pina colada.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And Emma, we're going to see you again, aren't we? I think you're on episode 6 of season 1. Am I right?
I think
yes.
I don't know. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but in a couple of weeks.
We're going to see you in a couple of weeks' time. But thank you so much. I hope you have a lovely week. Karl, I'm very excited. Next week, we will be back on with episode 4 and Ellie, Miss Detectorist. So I look forward to that. And dear listener, make sure you're keeping up with us. Give it a watch, and then we'll review it all together next week. All right. See you later, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
See you next week. Thanks, Emma. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.